How are you going?
I was waiting for the 29th.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Forensic Gameology, hosted by ForensicGameology.com.
Reviews/voting systems for science.
In 7/some nebulous amount of time, minutes
Or less. Or less than some nebulous amount of time.
Some nebulous amount of time.
Okay, the voting system today, I don't know that it has a particular name, so I guess we'll give it the name of Dictator.
We call it the Dictator system. We call it the Dictator. I don't think we call it like the rotating Dictator system. But, like, it technically is.
Yeah.
But, like, I think we just call it the Dictator system.
And I think we've said this before, just in case it's the first one you've watched. We use these. Some of them can be used on one night for gaming, if with game groups that you're not necessarily going to play with again and again. This one in particular needs to be used with a group that you're going to play with again and again. Like every week. Not
the boring one.
Yeah.
Not just the base system.
No, but then you might not all get to pick a game.
That's true. So
if you want it to be the most fair, use it again. And we use these voting systems with the same game group every week. And so that's where we're coming from. So this one is where someone just gets to pick the game. And then the next game that gets played, the next person. So you have a list of whoever you arbitrarily choose the order. We just roll the dice.
Whoever gets the highest goes
but
first.
that wasn't part of the voting system per se, as much as
some random way of choosing the order.
So, it's Tom's pick first. He picks Power Grid. My pick next. I pick Lotus. And then it goes to Emily, Mark, and then Ethan, or whatever the order happens to be. And then it goes back to Tom, and it rotates down. So that's it. So as far as the system, it's a fine system. It's very equal. Yeah. Even though it's called Dictator.
Well,
but it's equal in the sense of everyone's going to get their pick.
Everyone gets their pick, but I mean, if I choose Power Grid and you choose Lotus, I am monopolizing 2.5 hours of our time with my pick, and you're getting about 45 minutes to an hour. So, I mean... But you get what you want, you get to pick, and your game that you pick will get played.
But that's the same as any system, I think. Like, if I get my highest number, like Ethan the night wanted Innovation, and he eventually got 4 and played Innovation, whereas
but he had to play a lot of other people's games to get there.
That's true.
He had to lose that voting system so many times to get there. So
it's the same, though. You have to wait through 4 other people's picks.
So this system is super boring. How it goes out. There's no tension. There's no nothing. There's no reveal. There's no reveal. Utilitarian.
Yeah,
There's no narrative to this system.
Mm-hmm.
But there is some coolness to the system. Well, for one, let me just say, so we typically play from like 7 p.m. to 10:30, which for a lot of people is just chump change when it comes to games. A lot of times people will start at 7 and end at 4 a.m. So not us. We have babies. We gotta go to sleep.
Even before babies.
That's true.
I needed sleep.
That's true. Anyhow, if it comes to the end of the night and only 3 people have gotten to pick their game, but it's like 10, and you could squeeze in one more game, but it's your pick now, and you want to play Power Grid, you're like, we couldn't conceivably squeeze it in 30 minutes. You can call the system, you can pause, and everyone can just get a different game they want to play together, just come to some consensus on that, and then the next time you come back, it is now your turn to pick. So you can forego picking if the game you would pick would not fit in the time frame allowed. That's just something you should be aware of, because sometimes you'd feel like you were cheated if you're like, man, I played all 4 of your guys' games, and now I can't pick the one I want to play because we all have to go home in half an hour. So don't let that happen to you. That'd be the worst.
That's why I feel it's best played with the same game group again and again. Whether that's every week, every month, whatever you do, every day. You're lucky you.
Every day. So what's cool about this system is what I like to do is give it a little variant every now and then. Because by itself, it works, but is it worth a video? Is it worth a video? No.
Apparently we think so.
No, because we're not talking about it by itself. We're done with that. It's all done. It's in the past. What is the phrase?
Put your past behind you.
I never look back. It distracts from the now.
Put your past behind you. Put your behind in the past.
Put your behind in the past. So the cool part is when you say every other game you pick has a restriction. So the first game you pick can be any game. Then when it goes through the entire list and it's back to you, you have to put some artificial constraint on it. Like, it has to be a game you've only played once. Or have never played. Or it has to be a game you've played more than 15 times. We haven't done that one yet, but I think I'm going to try it for the next one. I'm going to try it.
We don't have enough games.
What?
We do, but we don't even have enough games.
What?
Okay, Mr. 30 times of Ticket to Ride?
Bro.
Come on, bro.
Listen. I just read off on our spreadsheet where I keep track of how many times we play the game. I read like 15 games on there. Last night. I read them.
Yeah,
I called them out.
That's like our combined. Sometimes we don't both play them.
I know I have played Mysterium somewhere in the 40s amount of times. Same with Machikoro. So same thing with Dominion. Dominion we played up in like the 500s.
Hyperbole. No one believes you.
Ticket to Ride. You
gotta watch our news.
I was going to say, you have to watch our news segment around this week. I don't know which one's coming out next. I guess the news comes out first. Yeah. Because we try to put that up pretty quickly because it stops being
It'll be the 22nd of February news.
Yeah. Say the 21st?
Yes.
Boy, when this goes out, it's going to be like the 4th of July or something. And people will be like, what are you talking about? That's how on top of it we are. Point being, I want to try the one. We haven't tried this one, so try it at home, but without my recommendation because I can't tell you how it is. But every other game you choose has to be one you've played 15 times or more so that you get to develop a real sense of the strategy, a real appreciation for the game. Because, as a reviewer, sometimes we do not get to play a lot of the same games in a row. Like, I'll play a game, and then we play so many different games to try to get our reviews done that I'll come back to it in 6 months. And I'm not any more strategic than the first time. It's almost like relearning the game. And so it's cool when you can do one where you've played it a certain number of times. For us, what we've done is one of the constraints is we said, you have to pick a game. Every other game has to be one that we haven't reviewed. Because that lets us work our reviews up. I don't think it would work for a non-reviewer, but you could think of a constraint and say every other game you pick. So for like the first game you pick,
I have one.
It has to be co-op.
Go on.
Well, so the first game you pick can be anything. The second game you pick has to be a co-op. Has to be.
This guy.
Is that the one? Is that
what
this
you guy.
Were you gonna say that?
Yes. Yes, I was. You don't know me. You don't know me.
I know you. I could read you like a book. I wrote that book.
No. Maybe.
So you would do one where every other game that you pick has to be a cooperative
game? That would be an idea. You ever have to be a cooperative, or if you really like pick up and deliver, and every other one has to be pick up and deliver. Maybe if you did specific genre, that would be interesting.
That'd be cool.
Or Euro versus Ameritrash, you just switch off. That would be interesting. Make both constrained.
Yeah. Have we done that?
No.
Well, we've done some of them. We've done different ones. I can't remember them off the top of my head. But it's just cool. It's cool to have that base system so you at least get your game. But it's also cool because you're going to try things a little outside the norm. Like, we had one where every other game had to be... This one was in a different voting system, but I think we could pull it into this. Every other game had to be in the bottom 5 games when you sort your list by most recently played. So the games you played the longest time ago, you had to pick from the bottom 5. And
so that assumes you have a list of all the games you played. So
if you're super cool like me...
That'd be the first thing you need to do is make a database of all the games you've played. It could be on the internet. It could be BoardGameGeek.com. You could use that. But you make a database of all the games you've played. That's the first thing you do.
And then keep track of every time you've played them. But the point being is that I think that was a really fun one. Because we had like a stack of games we hadn't played in 2 years. We're like, wow, I remember I really liked this game. Where did this game go?
We should get rid of this game.
Yeah,
I know why it's on the bottom.
We traded a lot of games away from the bottom of the list.
Yeah, we won't tell you what those were. But yes.
I don't remember what those were. We've done this for a long time.
We did this for way longer
than we've been reviewers.
The voting system? I'm not saying it out loud. That's
like me.
That's a harsh... No.
Wait, people, we say harsh criticisms all the time.
I know, but not like... This is like a nice...
Has this been nice? Do you think this has been nice?
Yeah, it's been nice for both of us.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other constraints, but those... I think it's fun. So that's the system. And I think it becomes fun because of how, you don't get stuck in a rut. You're forced to play something outside your comfort zone. And sometimes that sucks. Sometimes you'll be like, man, this game blows. I can't believe you picked this. I'm like, well, I had to. It was only one of the options.
Well, I had to.
But sometimes you're going to be like, man, I really love this game. I can't believe I haven't played it in so long. Or I wouldn't have picked this, but I'm glad we did because we had such a fun time. And we don't typically play these, social deduction games.
Dexterity. That'd be good.
Every other game has to be a dexterity game?
Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Blah.
No one likes that sound.
I'm sorry. Just when people fake vomit, I start to fake vomit. Blah.
Did the viewers start to fake vomit?
When you said that. Yeah, that's when you said dexterity.
Oh, dexterity.
Is this dexterity?
Yes.
I wanted to talk about this in our news video, but
So
we
now you're gonna bring it up
were
now?
going way over time. We're going over time.
We're
So
on voting systems.
I'm just saying, I played
Although
this the
you
other
did
day.
pick this for that the Dictator voting system.
No,
I don't think it was. It
no.
wasn't on Monday night, but it was on a different night. You picked it.
I picked it, but I don't think it was a Dictator voting system.
Well,
unless-
when you pick, I feel like it was Dictator.
Anytime I pick, it's because I'm just like, that happens a lot. Because we typically do voting systems, but we meet so many people that aren't gamers. I'm not joking. Like 3 of them have knocked on our door because we have our windows open, and one of them just saw me outside in the parking lot and was like, "Hey, what are you doing in there all the time?" I'm like, "We're playing games." People have knocked on my door to ask about playing games because we keep the lights on, get windows open. I don't like living in a dungeon. I like to have the windows open. They knock on the door and they're like, "What's going on?" And we've invited them in. We've had one guy's now he's in like a permanent group of ours. So
He's gonna be in the RPG.
the RPG. But the thing is when people are new to games entirely, we can't really use a voting system because they don't know what to vote for.
Right.
They don't know what's appropriate, how many players, how long it's going to take, what kind of games they even like yet. So like I'll just grab a game when that happens, and I grabbed this one. Man, we should review this just so because y'all are waiting with bated breath as to see what I'm going to say about it. It is a dexterity game.
We should do a playthrough.
We should. But I don't know if you can get the camera on both of our hands.
Yeah, that's. Yeah,
It's a speed dexterity game, so you probably have an inkling of what I'm going to say. But I don't know. I mean, I was the one that picked it the other day.
That was very good. Very good, Tom.
I was trying to get just one in there. I won that game, though. That game we played.
Well, yes, you would
partly
not have
because
won.
partly because I think everyone we were playing with had never played before.
Well, yeah, but I still would have been faster.
I doubt it. That was a Natalie Austin Derek game. We've been doing a lot more shout-outs lately, and I'm not sure what changed. Because before we'd always say, we have this friend who would, and then lately I've just been like, we're saying their names. They get the recognition they deserve on this channel.
Or whether they wanted or not.
Whether they want it or not.
Luckily, it's his first name, so you don't know who we're talking about, really.
Yeah, Ethan Dom.
Well, I asked him specifically if it was okay if I put his name, and he said yes.
Because he does the music.
He does the music, so.
All right, anyway, do you have any more to say about the voting system?
No, it is boring, but I don't have a problem with it. It's not a fun game before the game, but it gets the job done.
I think it is boring only when you use the base Dictator system without any constraints.
Well, I still think it's a boring system, even if there's constraints. It's just because it's not a game before the game.
But it brings
But
out
it doesn't
life.
mean I don't like it.
It brings out life.
Yes.
It does.
Trees grow faster and taller, and bushes
The
soak
air
in
is
more
fresher.
sun.
The sunlight brighter. People smiles bigger.
This guy, we're too long again. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge. And this whole time I was just waiting for her to say that. I was rambling. I didn't want to talk about this, but she's over here not saying we presented the evidence. You forget your line?
Always.